The plainest Jane. This is one of my favorite comments here. She says, I loves me some black, and she said, loves me some black news. She says, is it just me, or does anyone else get tired of seeing people that don't look like them delivering info about them day in and day out? I'm your girl, the plainest Jane, and let's see what's happening in these virtual streets. You ready? All right now. This could be a crazy ride. I'm warning you now. All right. What is going on? Welcome back, everybody. Get on the bus. Listen, it's the church bus. I'm picking y'all up from church, okay? Grab your seats and let's talk. Did anybody see the special last night? It was Netflix's very first time doing some sort of a live event. And I must say, it had to be kind of intricate to pull off because half of the people were over in Los Angeles. And then the other half of them were where? In Baltimore, right here, okay? They don't get too happy. I'm big up in the location. We ain't got to the show yet. Let me know how you feel about it down below in the chat. It's my, yes, I got my church shirt on, okay? I'm picking y'all up from church if you went. Listen, I knew I had to come on here and talk to y'all for a couple different reasons. One, we need to talk about this goddamn special, okay? Spoke about it a little bit when a couple of his jokes leaked to the press in his set. You know, they test out different areas and different audiences before they do the full-on shebang, right? And so I spoke about it, I think it was the night before last. I ended up speaking, you know, my thoughts about Chris Rock wanting to see Will Smith get wet by Massa, right? But there's a lot of other things, and I have an opinion. I noticed quite a few different things, and I want to see how y'all are feeling with it. I put a poll on the community tab. Let me get an update on how y'all feel about it. 107 votes. 17% of the people are saying it was funny. 58% saying it is not funny. And 25% of people say it was a little funny, aka undecided. Make sure you visit the community tab if you haven't already. And of course, listen, baby, pay your fare. Pay your fare. It is free to hit the like button. And that is one of the many ways that you can support the show. Okay? So this is the church bus, the Black News bus, which is a social media stroll. I'll be talking about some other things in this video as well. But the Black News bus, you know, we talk about Black topics inside of the celebrity world, but we also talk about things that are going on in the everyday news affecting real life people like you and me who ain't in Will, Jada, nor Chris Rock's tax bracket, okay? Another reason I knew I wanted to go live today is because I got up this morning and if you follow me on Twitter, you already know, right? The tweets are popping off. And I saw that Tokyo Toni was live on YouTube. Yes, I followed that. She's a train wreck, and it's sad, but it's funny, and she wants the attention. And so I'm a laugh. So she was smoking a blunt out her butt, a whole blunt out of her butt, ma'am. When I tell you I was in disbelief, hysteria, tears. I see why Black China do not bump with her. Okay, I'm gonna put the link in the chat real quick, just so y'all can see if you haven't seen it already. Tokyo Toni smoking that daggone blunt out her booty to Jail Levert in the background. A mess. So I said, you know what? My people need more to look at today than Tokyo Toni's cheeks puff passing the J. What's going on? What is going on? Okay. I had to get y'all up and out of bed for church somehow. I knew some of y'all wasn't ready for y'all's service. I said, you won't be able to unsee this. Get your ass up. Okay. Now I'm on here early today, and I'm damn proud of myself. Y'all know I'm a late bloomer when it comes to going live, but I hope y'all are having an amazing weekend, and I hope that you have had some time to reset yourself, recalibrate, fill the cup that you pour from to get ready for this week. You know, we got daylight savings time next week. Your mental health is important, speaking of Tokyo Tony, okay? So make sure you checked in on it before you get to dibbling and dabbling in all of this, okay? Okay? So we need to talk about, obviously we need to talk about Chris Rock and this whole thing. I have a Jaguar update I'm going to give y'all later. And there's some other things. The very first thing that I feel like is most important here, but that really stood out to me and it won't take long to cover at all, okay, is the Toronto Raptors were made low-key, like forced to give an apology for a reason that I find to be bizarre. But, you know, let's talk about it. We live in this society. They so woke that they're sleep and delusional. Okay, they're so woke that they ain't wiped the crust out their eyes yet. Let's look at this video and what prompted their apology.
Girls run the world because they're the only one that can procreate. They birth everybody.
All women are great because they're all queens.
Hey, Rolex on your wrist, PPED.
Okay, that literally is the reason why they had to apologize, because they said that only women can have babies. All women are great because they are the only ones that can procreate. They birth everybody, talking about women in favor, right? In honor of Women's History Month. All women are great because they're all queens. We're the only ones that can have babies, so on and so forth. Now you know. Baby, the apologies and all this other stuff. I said, baby, just throw the whole generation away. Throw it away. You can't even say women have babies because y'all want to like warp everybody else's vocabulary based off of how you identify and how you live your life. Right? Is that not strange? Is that not strange to y'all? Okay, let's take a look at what the NBA said and what other people had to say as social media reacted to this. So we have the Toronto Raptors issue an apology for posting this video for Women's History Month. Our sincerest apologies, they say, to our players, our staff, and our fans. We'll work to do better today and every other day. Okay? Only women can have kids. Women can only give birth. Someone says, if they're stating the obvious, then why is Molly so upset at this? She's acting like as if they committed a crime against society on camera. Shout out to Matt for the $5 Cash App. I appreciate that. Okay, appreciate that so much. If you're looking for a way to support the show, you can hit thumbs up, or you can send a Cash App as well. A subscription ain't gonna hurt you either. That's another free way to support the show. So shout out to y'all. A lot of people are lost. They're saying, what's wrong with this? Someone says, soft as butter, at the Raptors apologizing because one of their players said only women can procreate during Women's History Month. I'll say it for you. Only women can have babies. Media not triggered or angry, laughing at how stupid this ideology is. Okay? And, you know, it's just an odd time to be alive. You know, there's only a small percentage of people who are bothered by this. We don't have to name all the different letters in the alphabet, right? We don't have to name all the different letters in the alphabet, but we know who is and who is not offended by this. And let me just say, it's not all of the letters of the alphabet, just a small percentage, right? And this is why they had to offer an apology. We live in this day and age where anybody can go viral for something that's offensive to some and not all. And people are going to uproar. You may lose sponsors or just catch all of this unnecessary backlash, which, you know, it could end up affecting the grand scheme of things with the players, where they allow them to play the next game and just all this other stuff. Society is in the weirdest place ever. But Stickies, I want to know how you feel about this, whether you're on the bus, right, which means you're watching it live, or if you're chasing behind the bus, which means you're watching a replay. Comment down below and let me know, what are your thoughts about the Raptors, the Toronto Raptors, having to apologize for this video? What are your thoughts about it? Do you think they should have had to issue one? Are you even upset that they did issue one? I get it. They have to protect their bottom line and they still have families to feed, and you never, to be under the wrath or the scrutiny of certain members of that community, it can be kind of stressful, especially when they'll sit up all day and call all of your sponsors and do all this stuff, right? Like, we remember what Dave Chappelle went through, but Dave Chappelle is just one person, right? So he's the only person he's got to worry about. This is a whole team, all of their families, their kids, etc., right? Keep it sticky and real down below in the comments, okay?
Girls run the world because they're the only one that can procreate. They birth everybody.
All women are great because they're all queens.
Rolex on your wrist, a plain Jane.
So that's that and what's going on with that video. When I saw that this morning, I'm telling you, I had already rolled my eyes at Tokyo Tony's butt smoking that blunt. Then we got into this. When someone brings up a good point, the apology itself is offensive to biological women, right? It very well could be seen that way. Are we about to sit up here and uproar, get our panties in a bunch? No. It's too much going on in the world to sit up here and be caught up in that. But it is still bogus enough to make you want to roll your eyes, right? And so that's what's going on with that. Now I want to get into this Chris Rock situation, okay? Let's chat, you guys. Let us chat. Okay, so like I said, this is the first time Netflix has ever done anything like this. A live streaming event, number one. It was edited down literally 10 minutes after it came on. There was a pre-show when people who opened, a quote-unquote undercard. You had the after show, and those things were cut out literally 10 minutes after that joint ended. I did enjoy the live feature. I'm hoping that Netflix creates more live, so to speak, shows and things of that nature, because I did enjoy the interactivity and being able to be in real time with everybody else who turned it on time. You can live tweet and go through it. And it was really fun to see everybody else's reaction on social media. I just had withheld mine because I wanted to make sure I put it all into this video. And so you had, where do I start? Jesus. Okay. It took a while to heat up. I laughed a couple times, but it wasn't like gut-wrenching funny. It was more storytelling about his family. Hey, everybody new coming into the chat, and a special shout out to my channel members as well. I learned a lot about his family. He spoke extensively about his two daughters and his mother and how he grew up, poor, not having as much as the children of this generation have. It took so long to heat up, and y'all know what we was waiting for. Hello? Like, we here to hear about Will Smith. I mean, like, you got this highly anticipated thing. We done heard you got these slavery jokes out here where you want Will to be brutalized by massa, right? Cringe enough in itself, right? Because we couldn't hear the delivery. All we saw were the leaked jokes that made it to the media, the news, and the press. So you hear his delivery, and it was like he was dropping nuggets all throughout the show to let you know we're going to go there, right? Something came up and he said something about Snoop Dogg being the new Morgan Freeman. He got all these different jobs. He's representing all of these different things. He said, but wait. I don't need another rapper mad at me. I don't need another rapper. And then another rapper came up. I can't remember who it was. He said, but don't get me wrong. And this was, probably like 15, 20 minutes later. Don't get me wrong. I don't need another rapper mad at me. Okay, back to the show. And it's like, okay, all these rapper digs. I mean, like, get to it. It's been a year. Like, if you don't get to it, okay? And what was there were times, and mind you, like I said, he was here in Baltimore downtown at the Hippodrome, right? His presence and everything. I'll say fundamentally, the show was crafted the way any other comedy special is crafted, but I would say more so like a beginner format. Like, you know, you got the Kevin Hart's, like when you got a breakout comedian that's done some movies and been in on screen, you know, adaptations of things, and then boom, they break out and do their first televised show, like tour, like with them being the main event. There's so much structuring of the family. Think about Kevin Hart, right? Kevin Hart will tell you about his daughter playing in the balls and the stove being hot and all these other things because it makes him that relatable. So he doesn't even necessarily have to touch on politics. It was crafted the way a typical beginner breakout stand-up comedian show is structured, right? So the stories about his family, honestly, they were beautiful, but they weren't necessarily comedy. It's like you're sitting down talking to another Black person about how bad their kids are, how much their kids stressed them out, but how great they still became, right? Story about his daughter went to this fancy private school and snuck away and got drunk and got kicked out of school and all this different stuff, right? About how his Black girls with Afro puffs, fence, boom, 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 right? I'm waiting for the funny, brother. I'm waiting for the funny. I mean, jokes about O.J. Simpson, the Kardashians, all these different things. And then we get to the Will Smith part. Fast forward, because all the other stuff, it was so fluff to me. And he definitely tiptoed around the sensitivity of this generation and the LGBT community, right? He definitely didn't want any backlash from that. You could see him. It was like his demeanor changed when he started talking about the LGBT community. And then he got back on his woo-woo rah-rah. His demeanor, though, it was given he was trying to feel out the room. And sometimes when there were silences, it was like he had to laugh at his own joke to let the audience know, like, it's okay to laugh. Now, some of them were cracking up. They're just excited to be on TV. They're just excited to be in a room because everybody was dressed to the nines, okay? So I don't think anybody had the guts in them to just like sit there stale-faced, basically. And somebody said, damn, it wasn't funny. No, not really. Not really. It really wasn't. So we get to the end because he waits to get to the last 10 minutes is when he really went in. And baby, let me tell you something. Let me tell you, right? Went back and reminded us that Rob Kardashian freed OJ. Like, nigga, we knew that. Talk about Will Smith. We don't want to hear about this. And so we get to the end, right? And he starts going in on Will. Boom. Literally, we only get this in the last 10 minutes. And he's like, this is crazy. You know, this is crazy. Like, what type of bitch goes out and cheats on their husband and comes back and they sit down and share this with the world? And the woman that's been cheated on you says, yeah, I cheated. How do you feel about that? You know, jokes. Now that did make sense. You go back and you're like, damn, she really was interviewed. But we already knew that Will felt very emasculated at that, right? Goes back and says, well, the bitch was sleeping with her son's best friend. And here's the thing, y'all see, I literally put in the title. I put in the title. He literally didn't say Jada Pinkett's name one time. Like, not once. Instead, he called her a bitch repeatedly. Let that sink in. Jada ain't the one to hit you, right? Not to mention, don't think that I didn't realize that what you did was you came to Baltimore, Jada Pinkett's hometown, not to Philly, not to LA, where Will is from. You came to her hometown to shit on her. Like, you came here to do that. And he said, I'm not a victim, you know, but I'm a small guy. He's a big guy. I'm not a victim, but, you know, he's so much bigger than me. You know, he got his shirt off and everything. He's so much bigger. Anybody that says words hurt ain't never been banged in the face before. Like, so you still hurt by it. And you keep talking about how much bigger than you he is. So you still hurt by it. So now this is your way of getting your look back. I just feel like it's a little stale. I feel like it was so, he built up this anticipation literally 51 weeks later. Because next week, it'll be a year from the slap. 51 weeks later, he comes out with this mid-ass set about it. and then frames a whole show around it and really only talked about it for 10 minutes. And you could tell he was waiting to get that stuff off his chest. That was some bitch ass shit. And da-da-da-da. And the bitch started it talking about Jada Pinkett. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many times he called Jada Pinkett a bitch, but he never said her name. Not once. Jada Pinkett caught a stray. Jada Pinkett has even admitted that she regrets, right? That she regrets that it even happened. So stay on par, like stay on topic with that. That's my thought. But here's what I will say. Like, Chris does not have to forgive Will. He does not have to forgive Will. Like that was one of the most emasculating moments ever. So he can hold on to it as long as he wants. Of course, he's going to go within his arena and what he's skilled and talented at, which isn't fighting, is it not fighting, whatever, right? So nobody can tell him when to be over it, but more the jokes were about Jada than it was about him. More than it was about Will, if that makes sense. Here's the thing though, right? The closing line that he gave, right? The closing line he gave about that and literally dropped the mic and that was the end, was the reason I didn't hit Will Smith back is because my mama taught me not to fight in front of white people. Drops the mic and holds his arms up like, yeah, that's me. Like, huh? That's interesting. That's interesting. Because truth be told, I think that had you been in front of a whole bunch of niggas, I think you still would have pumped up like that too. I'm not saying Chris Rock is wrong for not defending himself, but that reasoning is wild to me. Because I'm pretty sure your mother also told you this is the same guy who says, right? And we've seen the clip of him sitting in a room with Bill Maher and 2 or 3 other white Seinfeld, and he's sitting in this room with 3 white comedians, and he's the only black person there, and they just keep saying nigga, and he's cracking up about it. He's like, I think if you say the word nigga, it's funny. I mean, Chris Rock is crying real tears out his eyes because that's funny. So it's interesting, your politic about what you will and will not do in front of white people, and then you turn around and you let them say the N-word. It's real interesting how your issue with this man got turned into, well, I want to see Master whip him again. Baby, it's giving shuck, jive, and shuck. Look at the coon. Look at the coon. Like, don't fight in front of white people. What? So you just gonna get... That's you giving them a pass and allowing them to not only refer to you, but your people that way. Chris Rock lost a lot of people at good hair, right? A lot of people just haven't been banging with Chris in general. Now, I do feel bad that he got slapped. I do. I also feel like he used Jada as some sort of like verbal punching bag since the 2000s. He's been cracking jokes at her, but he doesn't have that same energy for white people. Is it what his mom taught him? I mean, I know. Baby, I was so thrown. I'm like, that's it? And I'm like, is it just me? Or is this like mid funny? Or did I just have like higher expectation? It's like the anticipation, it was high. It was very, very high. But I mean, you know,
my wife's name out your Will Smith just smacked the shit out of him. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of him. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of him. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of him.
You came to her hometown on purpose. You could have been out there in LA with the rest of them. Nobody else that took the stage. Him and his team were the only people in Baltimore. Everybody else was over there in LA. That was definitely strategic. Can't convince me otherwise. Can't convince me otherwise. You know, the stories about his family, it was like, okay, that's cool. You got money. You can send your black girls to a private school that's expensive as hell, where they're the only black folks in the school. Okay. They acted up a couple times. You know, behavioral issues can be funny when you're talking about the things your kids have put you through, right? But, and then he even messed up one of the jokes at the end. I think he named the wrong movie or something like that. So he even messed up at the end trying to deliver one of his final jokes about Will Smith. Like, overall, it just wasn't hitting. It was not hitting. I would rather go back and watch the Eddie Griffin has a special that like I watched on DVD growing up. Like, I would rather go back and watch the Kings of Comedy. Like, that's really like the Chris Rock thing. It's background noise from when you at the hair salon, or the barbershop. Like that's the type of thing it is. Like, they could honestly throw that shit on Tubi for real. I wouldn't have paid for it. I'm glad I didn't pay for it. I'm glad I already have Netflix, and I thoroughly enjoy Netflix. I find about 3 or 4 gems on Netflix a week. Okay. But I do think that Will Smith slapped the funny out of him. Because where's the funny? Like, he used to make me laugh occasionally. Someone says, I didn't get cooning. Most black comedians and rappers use the N-word to talk bad about your own race. I totally understand that, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about Chris Rock using the N-word to talk about his own people. We're talking about Chris Rock being the only black person in a room with 3 other white people who are saying nigga repeatedly and saying, I think it's funny, and him allowing that and laughing along with them. That's what we're talking about. Just to create some clarity around that comment there. So, you know, it's just, it was very subpar. And I don't know if I'm being too hard on him. You know, the part that really resonated the most with me, I ain't gonna hold you, y'all know I'm a Black history buff. He explained how his mother, when he was younger, no, not when he was younger. His mother was born in, I think he said 1948, and blacks weren't allowed to go to white dentists. And if you couldn't find a black dentist, which obviously there were next to none, then you had to go to a vet to have your tooth removed. And it's like, ooh, speak on that. That's really the main thing that I remember, and that I'll be taking away and making sure that I remember, and I can actually make a whole Black History Moment segment on about, like, in the future, because that's really inhumane. Other than that, went to Disney World when you were broke, when you were younger. You've got kids, you've got a mom, your ex-wife. You like younger women rather than women your own age. Okay. The Kardashians are cursed because Rob Kardashian freed OJ. Okay. Okay. It just, like, it wasn't doing anything. It wasn't doing anything for me. So part of me felt like I was being too hard on it, but then I turned to Leo's father and I'm like, are you finding this fun? He was like, huh? Because he was busy watching, I think, some UFC or MMA or some other fight was going on that he was watching on his computer while I was watching this. And I mean, he was listening, but usually if we put on a good comedy show, we're both laughing. I can tell when he's really interested. It just really wasn't hitting like that for me. It just really wasn't hitting like that for me. Okay. So he said, how were the Kardashians cursed? It was like a joke about Rob Kardashian, who was deceased, right? Like the Kardashians' dad before the Jenner came along, freeing OJ. And then God was like, come on now, you got this murderer off. Now you're all of your children are only going to like black men, and the worst of the black men, the effed up black men, the crackheads, the bipolar ones, Lamar Odom, Kanye, and so on and so forth. That was what he was insinuating with that joke. But, you know, like I said, his delivery sometimes, I I would think that with Chris Rock having being as seasoned of a comedian as he is, that he's filled an arena that large before, but it seemed like either it was too big or he just wasn't able to resonate with everybody in the office. I saw Spike Lee sitting up in the seats. But there was sometimes he had to remind them to laugh because things got awkward for a little under 2 seconds. And he had to, you know, when you see a comedian laughing at their own joke, they either really think that the joke is funny or they need that room to be filled with laughter as they work their way to their next piece of material, the next part of their set. And sometimes that's what it seemed like he was doing with the delivery. And he's never talking in a regular voice. Chris is always hollering, right? I know his throat got to be sore from last night. It's got to be. It's got to be. It's got to be. Okay? My grandma, James Weeping Bush is a fool. My grandma said it's on site with Chris, okay? And I'm with Granny. Pull up. It's like, no. But, you know, it was interesting. Did any of you all catch it? Let me check the poll and see if the poll has updated. Let's see if any of the rest of y'all went to go vote. We got 140 votes. Still 19% think it's funny. 56% think it wasn't funny. And 24% of folks are on the fence because they laughed a couple of times. Okay. So, you know, it's getting those mixed reviews. And I want to know how y'all feel about it. But first, I want to get into a couple of other things first, and then I'm going to open the phone lines. Okay. So I just want to go over, oh, I'm glad that's getting more coverage. So I just want to go over some people that are tired of y'all. Okay. Some people that are tired of y'all not paying your bills. Right. And then we're going to get right back to the special and see if anybody wants to call in, because I do want y'all to sound off and let me know what you thought. I saw some people saying, y'all so negative. He got hit. Why don't you just take it or leave it? My parents told me not to fight in front of white people too. Da, da, da. Man, my mother taught me anytime somebody puts their hands on me, it ain't never been don't defend yourself in front of whites. Are you mad? Are you mad? Like, that's bananas. Like, even a statement like, and you know what? Maybe I can understand that old ass mentality from like the 40s, but baby, we in 2023. And I'm just thinking, I don't know, maybe it's an outdated way of thinking, but that ain't never been introduced to me. That ain't never been told to me. Don't defend yourself depending on if white people are around. Now, if he would have been different if he said, I'm at work, maybe the joke would have turned out different. You know, you might not be fast to put the paws back on somebody. If you at work, that would have gave it a different spin. But white people? Child, I can't. Let's get into this really quickly because this really surprised me. Okay, this story right here surprised me. And listen, if y'all haven't hit thumbs up yet, what are you waiting for? Please don't make me go get Will Smith to have to sock it to you real quick, because I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay. So I'm gonna get Tyra Banks to tell y'all about y'allself real quick. Hit that like button. How many people we got here? We got almost 200 people here and 100 thumbs up. Now, come on, let me get Tyra to cuss y'all out because y'all playing on my rooftop. Y'all playing.
But you're not. Stop it! I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. When my mother yells at this, it's because she loves me. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this. You go to bed at night, you lay there, and you take responsibility for yourself.
Okay? Hit that damn like button because, baby, it's free. You can also support the show by sending in a Cash App, but that is not a requirement. There are several ways you can support this show. Subscribe, okay? Or hit the thumbs up, or you can send $5 to the Cash App. Whatever you want to do. It's whatever you want to do, okay? And shout out to Jazz and Maybe for sending a few Cash Apps yesterday. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, let me get into this Ford thing real quick. See, it was chilly when I first started this video. Now it's getting hot. I think because the sun is shining right in here. Lord have mercy. Okay, so Ford is tired of y'all not paying y'all car payments, so y'all need to stop playing with them. They done filed a patent so that your car repossesses itself. They ain't got to wake up in the middle of the night waiting for you sleep to come and take your cars back. The cars are going to drive themselves to the junkyards over these missed payments. They want their money and they want it now. Now, taking an extreme measure, the car is going to literally drive itself if the driver misses a payment in the future. And again, this is something that they are getting patented. So the application was submitted in August of 2021. Interesting, we're just hearing about it now, a year and a half later. And it wasn't formally published until last week. And so, listen, it can have, the vehicle is going to be able to be disabled, remotely disabled. And it would still let you drive to work though. Okay. They still want you to be able to drive to work, right? 9 to 5 within a certain parameter, depending on how late you are. And if you haven't contacted them by the time your car starts telling you, hey, you can't go out after 8. Hey, it's after 6 o'clock. I'm not letting you move me. You know, that off switch. If you don't contact them, the car is going to drive itself, baby. Okay. So they also have some different strategies that they are in the works of working out for resolving missed or late payments, such as messages sent to the vehicle's display screens or the owner's smartphone. Now, imagine being in your car, going to the club, coming from the club, taking your coworker home, whatever it is that you're doing, right? On a date, and your car be like, bam, bam, you're behind. You got 2 days to give me my money or I'm driving back. Like, imagine how embarrassing that would be. Baby, they are not playing with you. They will embarrass you right in front of your little date. Keep playing if you want to. Keep playing if you want. You know how black parents, I'm embarrassing you in front of your little friends. Keep playing with me if you want to. Woo! So, like I said, they'll be disabling certain functions. Oh, they're disabling the air conditioner too and the radio. Oh, baby, you gonna have to drive to work with no music, no vibe, and hot and sweaty too? Oh, baby, stop playing with them. Ford says, stop playing with my money. Where's my money? Where's my money, Brian? Not shutting down the AC. Now, baby, that is inhumane. Ciao. And if that doesn't work, the car could start playing audio that's incessant and unpleasant anytime the owner is in the vehicle. Not they about to send off a daggone smoke alarm in a car to annoy the out of you, on top of you being hot with no AC, with no radio. So you can't even talk on the phone to your homies. You know what I'm saying? Because they about to start annoying you on purpose for their money. Oh, baby. Baby, this is ridiculous. So they're also going to lock you out of your car. So I guess they got different levels. No AC, no radio, unpleasant sounds and music and noises. They're going to lock you out of your car. It's crazy. It's crazy. And drivers will still be able to access the car during a medical emergency, according to their application. And the last resort would be, all right, I'm driving off. I done enough. I done shut down everything in this car and you still playing games with me. I'm driving back. I'm driving back to the owner by myself. This is crazy. This is crazy. Excuse me? Imagine waking up and seeing your car drive off with nobody in it in the middle of the night. Imagine the liability if they hit something or someone, though. Imagine that. Like, I don't know if you think you Tesla or what, and you can just do these little self-drive things, but I don't know. It could be a child jumping in the middle of the street. Anything could be happening at that time. You just never know. Hell, somebody could be, running a light and you get hit. Now, y'all done got my car in an accident while y'all were trying to repo it. See how that worked? I don't know. Strange times we living in when your car is becoming the op. Your car is literally the op. Okay. And if they shutting down AC in the summer, they got to be shutting down heat in the winter. So, y'all little booty buns gonna be frostbitten. Stop playing with them. Ford said, y'all need to stop playing with me. I'm tired of y'all.
Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to grow up. Grow up. Tired of telling y'all to grow up. Y'all need to stop it. I'm tired of it, y'all. You ain't finna wear me out.
Baby. Ford is not playing with y'all. So y'all still got some of that tax money? Put it aside and pay their car payment a couple months early, because Ford they don't care about you having to go to the airport. They don't care about your girls' trip. They don't care about Susan's recital at 8:00 after school tonight. They don't care about none of that. Pay your car note, okay? Pay your car note. Now, baby, back to this woman that's been stressing everybody the hell out. And I'm not going to get much into it here. We've done enough publicly until we have, oh Lord, why is she on here looking like Satan's spawn? Let's get to it. Let's go ahead and get into the next subject, child. Lord, have mercy. Buckle up, because we in for a ride, baby. Anytime we talking Jaguar Wright, she is bound to get on your nerves and drain you, okay? Oh, Lord, look at her here, look at her here, look at her here. So now she going to church because Goomba really don't want her back, and she realized it now. Okay? Now she going back to church.
I'm wearing my Sunday best, and I got it from the World Famous.
Girl, don't nobody care. It's fake. You're trying to get Goomba back. Here's what she got going on with Goomba, child. Now, I screenshotted. I'm surprised she left it up here so we can just read it straight from her page. So these are some of the games. And if you are not caught up on the saga that is Jaguar Wright and Lasagna, right, who is R. Kelly and Aaliyah's fake child, it's clear and obvious that she's lying. It's been debunked and proven a million times. They are the internet's biggest infamous sensational train wreck, essentially, is where we are with this. Please get caught up. I've done several videos on it, probably about 3 of them. A lot of it will make you laugh. Some of it may make you feel like, dang, what's wrong with this lady? Everything. That's what's wrong with her. Everything. Okay. Now, shit. Why would you? Okay. So Goomba is leaving her, divorcing her, whatever the situation is. And here she is sharing personal correspondence. He emailed her, and she's upset that he's really at his wit's end with the disrespect. You know, she's calling his mother all types of, B words and incest. And she's attacking everybody in his family because he don't want to be with her anymore. Right. So here's what Goomba said to her in an email, and she decided to post it. So Goomba emailed her and said, I did the mental health warrant on you. It's expired now. I never called them to issue the warrant. And that's confusing in and of itself, right? I did the mental health warrant on you. It's expired now, but I never called them to issue the warrant. Like, what? So basically, to give you just a smidge of insight, she decided to call the crisis hotline to say that her husband was trying to off her when they've been separate for about a week now. And she really just wanted somebody to come pick him up because she's spiteful and he doesn't want her anymore. So she calls, and it was a very nasty call. I mean, a very nasty call. She starts insulting the lady and everything. And basically things have kind of backfired where they think that she needs help and not him. So her cousin and everybody else, they're trying to get her admitted on a 5150. And so he says, here are the passwords to everything. I hereby resign from Philadelphia TV network. You don't have to pay me for anything pertaining to the network. I'm also filling out papers for divorce just because there's too much disrespect in our lives and not trusting each other. Please, no more contact. I will not do any lives about you or anything asked about us. I'm going to get myself together and move the way the Most High guides me. I know we had a heated argument when I said $1 million, but I was joking with you because I know that we ain't never had no $1 million. I can't do these things that bring negative light on me or the work that God has for me. I'm going to repent for my sins, and I'm going to pray that God has mercy on my soul and forgive me for what I witnessed during the relationship. All I can do now is pray for you and your son, Sam. Okay. She's upset about this, and he's sending her private correspondence, and here she is sharing it because she's upset that he doesn't want to be with her anymore. So here's the caption. She says, as you wish, let's just be clear. The only person losing something here is you. Please go. I work better, feel better, look better when you're not around. You like trash and I like class. Enjoy the low life. This changes nothing. Your family and friends have a problem with me regardless, and there's nothing you can do to save them. They chose to make me their enemy. So you leaving me doesn't save them. Your mama, your granny, your fake family, your low-life friends are all going down. And now that you're ending our marriage for them, the gloves can come off and I can give them what they really deserve. And I won't have to feel guilty about you. This is awesome. Guilt-free retribution. Now I really get to have fun with your mama. Guess you didn't think this through. You were the only thing stopping me from going too hard. Now I really got to handle up on your whole family's life. Johnson Family True Confessions Part 1 coming soon on YouTube. This is going to be one fun summer. Like, ma'am, ain't you like 45 years old? This sounds so 17 to 21-year-oldish. This is unhinged. This is unhinged. Do you hear me? Like it's even beyond unhinged. It really is. Like, girl, he don't want you. She gave him all these ultimatums. If you don't call me by 3 o'clock, then I'm gonna have you arrested for stealing my money and grand larceny and pistol whipping me and trying to all this stuff, but you want him back. You like, he's the biggest villain, but you want him back. And now that he's really done, like he's really at his wits end, he's tired of waking up every day and hearing you call his mama 117 bitches. He's tired of that. Anybody would be tired of that. And they should be. The woman is nuts, okay? She is complete nuts. And does she have mental issues? Absolutely. Mental health is definitely a factor here, but that can't be the singular crutch that you use to... That can't be the crutch that you use to not be accountable for the craziness, right? She's saying he's crazy. His head is messed up because he was smoking weed from the barbershop where she was throwing them ashes and rubbing her dead son's ashes on her, that he was smoking weed from the barbershop that was laced with fentanyl. His mind's all effed up from that weed. I smoked the weed too, but okay, boom. Going by that logic, your head is messed up too. You ain't thinking straight. And you ain't even have to disclose no weed with no fentanyl, which I think you made that up. But even without it, baby, it's clear that you ain't. And now all of a sudden that he's really done. And now he's talking about getting right with God. Here she go, proving to the internet that she going to church. Girl, if you don't sit your $5 ass down before I make change, girl.
I was gone.
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really. I don't understand. I swear to God, I don't understand.
Really good point. People can say what they want about Tasha K, but this has vindicated her on the Jaguar Wright coverage. Exactly. It really has. And it's really interesting that Jaguar Wright thought that and kept saying how wrong Tasha K was for talking to her family. They're not getting along. She was saying, why are you talking to my family and selling it and putting it behind a paywall? That's evil, when she's doing all of the above. Saying that, oh, you're exploiting my child. He's 19. And he's very smart. Diagnosed with autism? Yes. But as it pertains to Legina Gold, Lasagna, she's 27, 28 years old. Admittedly schizophrenic. And so if you felt like it was exploitation for your child, and Legina Gold, she don't come off like no 27, 28-year-old. She's a bit delayed. And I'm not trying to be funny, but her mannerisms and everything, she's a few years behind mentally based off of whatever she's been through and whatever she has and hasn't been exposed to. So now you are pimping out Legina for views, right? Not in a sexual sense, right? For views, and putting it behind your Philadelphia Network's paywall because you want to make money. So how was it that Tasha was wrong when she was exploiting somebody's child and talking about somebody's family? But here you are doing this to Legina, not to mention now you about to do this to Goomba too. Girl, I mean, it's being a hypocrite for me, girl. I mean, when I say boiling hot garbage trash, I mean boiling hot garbage and way too old for this type of behavior trash. It's horrible. Real bad.
Eating our chicken.
City Manager's Office, Ms. Garner speaking.
Yes, I'm trying to get in touch with the mayor.
Okay, and if you need the mayor, I need to transfer you to the her assistant's office. One moment, please.
Thank you.
I love that painting of Grace Jones. She's my idol.
May I have the purpose of the call?
Wait, I'm trying to get to when she was talking to.
Remain anonymous, and law enforcement can relay information back and forth using pictures you will again.
I'm gonna wait for y'all to show up.
She did this real nice.
I just got off the phone. I had some interesting conversation.
To the VA. It was a mess. I won't bother trying to find it now. We'll go over it backstage because she talks for hours upon hours upon hours all day about other people. And her life is in shambles. He stole what money from you, woman? What money? What money? What money? Y'all had to hear the way she was talking to that crisis hotline operator. It was horrible. Okay? Horrible. And then you had Tokyo Tony this morning smoking that blunt with her butt, taking her shirt off on YouTube. It's a mess. I can't. That's enough of that. I'll get into more of Jaguar Wright shenanigans backstage, but I don't have any sympathy for Jaguar Wright. She wants the same way I have next to no sympathy for Tokyo Tony either, because they want this attention. Clout is a drug for them, but don't think we're not gonna make our money talking about you. Like, nobody's exploiting you. You're exploiting yourself. And you want people to repost this stuff, and you want people to report it. She on the phone with the crisis operator, right? She says, and she goes from crying to calm, to crying to calm, and then sounding strategic. My husband's trying to kill me. The lady said, are you in a safe place? I've been sleeping in my car. The lady said, are you having thoughts of suicidal ideations? And she was like, no. And the lady said, okay, so you're in a safe place, right? She said, bitch, do you know where the fuck I am? I'm in the studio where these the fucking videos that I'm making be going viral every other day. He stole all my money and da-da-da. And the lady goes on and says, have you reached out to any shelters? You know, you're saying you're sleeping in your car because he done locked you out and took all your money. So she's making sure you have shelter. And she's, bitch, do you think I'm broke? I got a whole bunch of money, but you just said he stole all your money and you ain't got nothing but $5 to your name. So which one is it? And then she began to ask the lady, are you having thoughts of killing yourself? What about your family? Does your husband touch your kids? Does your husband sneak into your child's room at night? Like, what? She said, what's your name, man? Because I'm about to make you famous because you ain't calling my husband. Like, it was a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was a disgusting mess, okay? Y'all haven't heard it? Oh, we really gonna have to go backstage and get into the things today.
A little sore from the beating I took on.
Let me see. Because why won't this let me fast forward?
City Manager's Office, Ms. Garner speaking.
Yes, I'm trying to get in touch with the mayor.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you need the mayor, I need to transfer you to the her assistant's office. One moment, please.
Thank you.
I love that painting of Grace Jones. She's my idol.
Let me make
May I have the purpose of the...
It won't let me fast forward this. It's all stuck on one. It sucks. But yeah, she did all that. I'll try to isolate it a little later just so y'all can hear that call alone. It's very telling. Very telling. Okay. And so yes, Tokyo did that. I posted it on Twitter. So you can go to my Twitter to see that. I'm not gonna put it on here on YouTube. Okay, so that's enough with the loony bin, right? We'll get back into you. I mean, we could go into Jaguar all day long because she's live 24/7 talking about everybody and everything else but herself. Y'all remember she was trying to sell her body for a food platter, and then she got the food and the man didn't want none of her body and told her to take her ass home. 3 times I heard that man in that live say, take your ass home. And instead, she took her ass down to the police station to get tackled and arrested. So I just, so it was a mess. So apparently it was Grace Jones. And so that's that. What I wanted to get into, speaking on, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link for people to call in if there is anybody that wants to call in while I get into this Black history, because y'all gonna get this Black history. But if you have a thought, I think it's perfect, right? Because I do think that Chris Rock was a little contradictory. I do think that it was on brand with what he usually does, which is tap dancing. And so I feel the need to get into some Black history that directly correlates with the history of tap dancing, cooning, and how some of the terms have actually been intentionally taken out of context. Okay. So we're going to get into our Black history moment. Okay. And I'm going to open the phone line so that you all can call in and tell me how you felt about Chris Rock and the special last night, or if there's anything else that we discussed within this video that you wanted to touch on. Okay. All right. So make sure y'all hit thumbs up if you haven't already. If not, don't make me kick you off my bus, baby. Kick you off my bus. But let's get into this Black history. Let's see how many people stick around for it. You know what I mean? They love this. They love to see the train wreck. They don't want to learn nothing about nothing, though. But this is a good one. This is a part 2 to the Black history that I did about Uncle Tom, right? Spoke about it before, even did a separate video on it before. This dives deeper. A lot of people want to know, okay, well, Uncle Tom's story and the coining of the phrase has been distorted, but how and when? So I spoke about who the real Uncle Tom is, but now I'm about to tell you about how and why it became so distorted. Keep it locked and drop some pancakes in the chat. Now let's spend a little bit of time with our ancestors, or at least listening to them, because you know they always tell us you don't know where you're going unless you know where you came from. So let's get into a little bit of Black history with this Black history moment.
You in that crowd.
They got me in the system. Why they gotta do me like that?
I know I can be what I wanna be what I wanna be.
We've got love for y'all, which I don't know.
Just about the city.
Get down.
All right, and we are back. So I'm continuing my coverage and really just digging into informing you all. And while I do this extensive research, sometimes I pick up a couple of facts that I didn't even know myself. But I think that this is really important for us to talk about. And for me, I love prioritizing Black history and Black excellence because we need more balanced representation in the media and the things that we consume in general, right? Like we can't just be looking at Jaguar Wright all day long. We can't just be looking at Tokyo Tony doing all the bizarre stuff that she does, not to mention what the mainstream media does to us and how they represent us. They don't do us right. So sometimes we have to create the balance that we want to see. And with me being a representative of contributing to Black media, Black coverage, Black topics and conversation, it's only right that I do my due diligence and clean up a bit of what I feel like is dirtying up our name and reputation out here as Black people. So when we talk about Uncle Tom, right, a lot of time when you hear the term Uncle Tom, a lot of people refer to that as a tap dancer, right? A Chris Rock, right? But Uncle Tom's story has been distorted over time. And Uncle Tom was actually the polar opposite of what that term insinuates within us and us slinging that around. And so the Uncle Tom story was actually based on a slave whose real name was Josiah Henson. And Josiah Henson, he hailed from Maryland. He used the Underground Railroad to gain his freedom. And throughout the decades, he went from a hero to a sellout, according to the way revisionist history works. But he really was a hero, literally. And so the media turned him into this weak, spineless, submissive person based on janky on-screen adaptations of him. That's not who he really was. And so the film, Uncle Tom's Cabin, was actually based on a book. It was an anti-slavery novel. And it was written by abolitionist Harriet Beecher Stowe. Now, this was a white woman. This was a woman of no color, okay? And she was actually scoffed at by her counterparts and her peers for portraying a slave as an actual human being, who Josiah Henson, aka Uncle Tom, was, right? As being a human being with actual profound thoughts and emotions. And so this was an on-screen adaptation that we had never seen before. At that time, you always saw Black folk on screen being degraded and demeaned, broken English, couldn't really speak correctly. None of them were represented and really humanized. Okay. And so when we go back to the book, it was first published on March 20th in 1985. Okay. And it was actually considered to be the greatest American novel of all time. And in fact, an article published by the Boston Morning Post, the year that it was released, it said that everybody in the country had read it, was reading it, or was about to read it. And it also said that at that time, publishers had to keep 17 different printing presses running 24/7 just to keep up with the demand of the book. It truly took over the nation. It did. And in the United States alone, Uncle Tom's Cabin sold over 300,000 copies. Now, it went on to be regarded as the best-selling novel of the 19th century. And in some of the very first on-screen depictions, Uncle Tom, he was whipped to death, right? On screen, whipped to death for refusing to disclose where two female runaway slaves were. So let's just let that sink in for a second. The book represented him as having these noble qualities, loyal to the cause and the movement of protecting and helping other slaves get their freedom. And the two runaway slaves in the on-screen adaptation that we saw, they were two Black slaves who were sexually abused by their slave masters, okay? And so he refused to tell where they were, and so they beat him to death. Now, that's really noble, to sign your life away for, other people's liberation, right? However, regardless of how noble that was, over time, the on-screen depictions, they began to change in such ways where they portrayed Uncle Tom as subservient, weak, speaking broken English, and would bend over backwards to do anything to please his slave masters. Now, what you might not know is some of our own people didn't even quite understand that revisionist history had taken place, and they used those terms and weaponized them against people, namely Malcolm X. He would refer to Uncle Tom's as race traitors because all they had were the on-screen adaptations. I guess they didn't read the book or they didn't know the real history. Another person that used Uncle Tom incorrectly to, speak about someone who quote unquote tap danced was Muhammad Ali. Anytime he had an opponent who wouldn't use his Muslim name that he adapted, right, they would call him Conscious Clay on purpose. And when they wouldn't refer to him as Muhammad Ali, he would call him an Uncle Tom. And so some of the greatest people really didn't have a clue as to the real history of Josiah Henson, aka Uncle Tom, and really how heroic he was. But listen, I truly believe that it was revisionist history. I truly believe it was done by white people, right? Because if we barely had Black people in films being humanized, then who do you think was controlling these adaptations to make sure that Uncle Tom became constantly distorted, right? To come off as dumb, broken English, spineless, weakless, and serving massa. There were no Black people behind the camera and who had the power to really change Uncle Tom's story over time. It was the people making the films, and the people making the films weren't us. A couple of Black people who were on film were just lucky to be there, especially the ones who got to play him in the beginning when he was still looked at as heroic. And so, again, this is a man who signed his life away, and he should be remembered for that. And unfortunately, we've been conditioned to think it's a bad thing, but I think it's time that we change that and we stay more cognizant. So next time you're in a salon or the barbershop or, kitchen table talk and someone uses that term, just take a moment to say, did you know that that's not who or what he was? Just call him a tap dancer, call him a coon, call him whatever you want to call him. Just don't call him an Uncle Tom because it's disrespectful to who he was in all the work he did for our liberation. You know, signing his life away, right? At least in the book, right? Signed his life away, and he should be remembered for that. His bravery, his aversion of violence, and, you know, revisionist history, it's very sickening. And this leads me to my final point here about how I'm not upset. I'm the furthest thing from upset that real Black history is not being taught in schools. Do we really trust white people to teach us who we are? They won't even refer to us as slaves. Like, keep it a buck. Don't try and glamorize it. Involuntarily relocated. Individuals who were involuntarily relocated. Call them a slave. Why are you trying to make it sound pretty? Your great-great-great-great-grandfather did this stuff. Hell, some of your great-great-grandfathers did this stuff. Well, your grandfathers. Some of your fathers still doing it, right? So the nuance between them not wanting to teach Black history in schools, I get it. That's annoying. But the outcome being, don't let white people teach your Black children Black history, it's really not anything we should be upset about. That we need to have specialized people. If you don't have all the time to teach your kids all the different Black histories there are, find some tutors, right? Like, this is the perfect time when all these things are taking place in Florida and other pockets of the United States for people to really specialize in Black history tutoring or classes, albeit, you know, digital, in person, whatever the case is. But to trust white people to really teach you all the stuff they did to our people doesn't make any sense to me. But hey, you know, sometimes it's past events that help us learn Black history. Sometimes it's happening right now. But it's a disservice to Uncle Tom to continuously misuse this term when you do your research, he was the complete and absolute opposite. 100%. Okay. So yeah, someone says more of us need to read the actual book. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so that's what I wanted to get into with today's Black History moment. Okay. I thought it was important, right? You know, sometimes I have to train myself when I've had enough time scrolling, looking at ratchet stuff. Krishan and Blueface, inescapable. I mean, it don't matter how many times I mute those words on my timeline, it continues to pop up. So sometimes you really have to force yourself to balance out the content and the things that you are absorbing as a person. And so I'll jump into Black history or reading the news or something like that right away when I notice, all right, it's been too much of this. When I go to the bathroom and I say like 1 or 2 words or a sentence from ratchet, ignorant media, I'm like, let me go learn something real quick. And so I had to put that in there. I got to do my due diligence and give y'all the information. I gave y'all part 1. This is part 2. Am I going to break it down and put it in another standalone video? Absolutely. Will the majority of y'all watch it? No, y'all won't. The last Uncle Tom video don't even have 1,000 views. And while there are a lot of people who are like, I like it, Jane, keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it. It's just annoying to put your time into separating and chopping up certain videos that I know we need to be seeing. And then no one watches it. But if I come on here and I'm live for 2 hours talking about Jaguar Wright, I got 600 people in the chat. Or any other train wreck or mess or whatever's going on. Everybody wants to sit down and hear about that. And so that's why I weave in my good, you know, good Black excellence, Black history. I have to mix it in with current events that aren't necessarily enlightening too much of anything. It's just something that we're talking about because it's a current event. That's how I have to layer it to spoon feed the realness to y'all. But I get it. I'm not upset. It gets frustrating sometimes as a content creator, but I got to continue to do my due diligence. One day it may catch on, right? The last time I said, I'm not giving y'all no Black history because y'all don't watch it. And I ended the live. And they came into Discord like, Jane, don't stop. I know it might seem upset. And I'm like, I know. Maybe I just got into my feelings. And so I'm back up out my feelings. And I'm here to give y'all this content. Okay? I'm here to give y'all. And thank y'all to the people who did send me messages like, I know it can be frustrating, Jane. But please don't stop with the positive news. I'm like, yeah. So I won't stop with the news. Artichoke says, it's okay, Jane. Not everyone will hear the message, but you did your part by providing information. Now what people choose to do with it. Exactly. Good point. And I do appreciate that. So that was Black history. How did y'all feel about it? How did y'all feel? How did y'all feel? So I just dropped the link one more time. If somebody wants to call in, cool. If not, that's perfectly fine too. Okay, it's perfectly fine if you don't want to call in. Okay, but I just wanted to see if anybody had any comments. It is hot, baby. I wanted to see if anybody had any comments, if they wanted to give me their thoughts about Will Smith and Chris Rock and this whole Netflix special yesterday. Like I said, I thought it was super cool. And I can't wait to see what else Netflix does when it comes to the live stream aspect of Netflix. That's something that they've never done before. So I know that they were nervous, but I enjoyed it. You know, we had the hashtag so that we could tweet along as we watched. I made it a point to reserve all of my thoughts so that I could put it in my video. But if I was watching something else, I probably would tweet along. So that was really interesting. What else is going on? Let me see. Thank you, DJ. I appreciate it. When I start my channel, I'm doing so much clickbait. Listen, I don't blame you because I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I mean, just in the last 2 weeks, I've gotten 600 subscribers off of Jaguar Wright alone. And it's sick that when I'm not in that box of reporting on train wrecks, it's not the same, you know? So gotta mix it up. Do what you gotta do to get off the ground, and then you can be picky and really make a choice as to what you want to talk about. I'm kind of in the middle with mine right now. I could just talk about black stuff all day, but I really wouldn't be getting no numbers. So I gotta mix it up. Gotta mix it up. Someone said, I want to call in. I just never seen the special. Child. Just haven't seen the special. Well, let me know how y'all feel about it when y'all do see it. I know it's Sunday. I'm picking y'all up on the church bus. Let me do one quick round on the blogs. Excuse me, my throat. And see if anything else has transpired before I get up out of here. I'm making really good timing on this show. Oh, Lord. Britney Spears still having a hard time. What else is going on? Oh, my God. Oh, Britney. Yikes. Abolish Zeus Network. I'm sick of it. Is that what that's about? Abolish them. Real tired. Real tired. What else is going on? Stay away. Oh my goodness. Nope, that's too much. Not getting into that. Justin Bieber. If you really want to watch some train wreck stuff later today, though, baby, go watch Tokyo Tony live from earlier today. Matter of fact, just go to my Twitter. Go to my Twitter. But no, Tokyo Tony's live. It was just, baby, I lied to you now. I was crying real tears in the bed this morning, just listening to her go on and on. She's sick. That woman is sick. But she like to be seen, child, and I be watching right from my bed. How about Tokyo Tony sitting up there calling everybody broke? You on the live and you watching. 300 of us live. Only 10 in the chat. And then if you in the chat and you ain't sent her a cash app, she be like, block. Don't talk in my chat unless you tip me, you broke mother. Called us all poor because she was giving us a show and wasn't nobody. I know you're not calling nobody poor. I always seen in your text messages you asked China for $3,800. Then 20 minutes later, she on the phone talking about, I ain't got no money. I barely got a car. But we broke. Girl. But it's us that's broke. Girl. Man. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I wanted to pull up my Twitter real quick. Not for Tokyo, though. My guy, Ernest Owens, is really analytical, very articulate. I think that's why I gravitate towards Ernest Owens, but he did just come out with a book called The Case of Cancel Culture. Mine's came in the mail. I can't wait to crack it open and reading it. Okay. Ernest said, Misogyny Award and comedy is Chris Rock joking that black people don't fight in front of white people while proceeding to call a black woman a bitch in front of white people after being slapped for disrespecting a black woman's hair in front of white people at another event. I said this sums it up perfectly. Not to mention he loves allowing white people to say the N-word around him. That's that one. I'm seeing another tweet from Who's Tie. It says, Chris Rock said, you don't fight in front of white people, but you had no issue calling a black woman to be in front of white people, negatively commenting on black women's hair in front of white people, or letting, oh, that's the same thing I just said. Okay. So, it'll be interesting to see what the overall sales are on it. With the overall sales and what type of numbers it did. That'll be really interesting to see when that data comes in. Oh my God. He did get that slap off his chest. You could tell he really was waiting to get that out. Okay. I mean, I guess he had the mentality of anybody else that's in there that does something creative. Put it all in the booth. Put it all in the booth. Oh, she needs professional help. Yeah, I do like Tokyo Tony mess. I ain't even gonna hold you. Now, will I jump in her chat? No, because she like calling everybody broke and then blocking people. But yes, I am gonna be in the bushes watching Tokyo Tony act a fool. We don't have real reality TV no more. If we still have reality TV like Flavor of Love, Real Chance of Love, what was that one called with Bret Michaels? Every Rose Has Its Thorn, or Rock of Love, or stuff like that. That was mess that I could, when New York got her own show. We don't have that no more. And Zeus is not doing it for me. Like, even watching Tommy Lee get all coked up and get knocked out, that's not even doing it for me. So I got to resort to what I know is entertainment that's real. Like Tokyo Tony, she ain't doing this for a camera crew. She doing it because she wants to, and that's really how she act. Do she need help? Yes, but baby, I'm going to watch her act a fool from the bushes, and I'm going to cry about it because it's hilarious. It is. I'm they want to be seen. I'm making them sing. And Tokyo Tony be mad. She be like, don't just watch. None of y'all starting a hashtag for me right now. Like, she just want to go viral and be on the blog. And it's like she done adapted the damn Kardashian thing. All attention is not good attention, man. But as long as she on them blogs, baby, she is satisfied. I see why her and Jag are friends. They different brands of the same type of crazy. They like Fruit Loops and Fruity Rings, made in the same factory, okay? What's Idris Elba talking about? Backlash over not calling himself a black actor is stupid. Me saying I don't like to call myself a black actor is prerogative. Where am I denying my blackness? Did he just sit and think this up this Sunday? Because we was over it, right? Wasn't we over it? Wasn't we been over this? Because, I mean, he's not denying he's black. It's a matter how you set up your resume. I do feel like the backlash over it is dumb. I feel like you stepping out to say something about it again, my fine brother. I feel like that's a little dumb too. What else is going on? Child, he's still talking about the child. It don't be nothing going on the weekends. Not a daggone thing. Nothing going on the weekends. It's nothing going on, y'all. What is going on? Hey, Tamika's Den. Shout out to you. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Tamika's Den. She does really, really good content. She does a lot of show reviews too. I like her show reviews. Even if I don't watch the show, I like watching her talk about all her different shows. And she stays up on them too. I mean, as soon as they come out, she pumps them out. Okay. Yeah, they need to cut Tokyo Tony's Wi-Fi off. They really do. They really, really do. I have a couple of updates about that story that I gave y'all the other day, pertaining to Kenosha's police department and the disgusting pigs who decided to urinate on her license, on a black woman's license. I do need to tell you, I do have an update, but I need to make sure I go over the update first. But also, let me go ahead and give you this commercial brought to you by none other than First Lady. Okay.
What? Oh my gosh. What? Yes. What? COVID-19.
So when they say, Jen, you like mess? Yes, I love real mess like Andrew Caldwell and Tokyo Tony. Yes.
What? Oh my gosh. What? Yes. What? COVID vaccines are free.
What are you talking about? What?
What? Oh my gosh. What? Yes. What? COVID vaccines are free. Go and get your shot. COVID vaccines are free. I encourage you guys to get vaccinated. I encourage you guys to do your research. It's just like going to the doctor and you're saying, doctor, what is the side effects? Doctor, what is this? Yes, I ask my questions too. You should too. But I encourage you to get vaccinated because I'm vaccinated. They are free, people. Go out and get vaccinated. While you're out and while you're fully vaccinated, I encourage you to still wear your mask around people. We don't know who is vaccinated or fully vaccinated. We don't know who is not vaccinated. So we want to protect ourselves. You have to protect yourself. You have to protect your people who's around you. We are going to do this together, you guys. Bring your greetings from St. Louis, Missouri. Yes, the St. Louis County and St. Louis City are giving out free vaccinated, including Walgreens, including CVS.
They giving out what? They giving out?
St. Louis, Missouri. Yes, the St. Louis County and St. Louis City are giving out free vaccinated.
Now I'm gonna have to use him on him, but what?
Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to grow up. Grow up. Tired of telling y'all to grow up. Y'all need to stop it. I'm tired of it, y'all. You ain't finna wear me out.
Sure.
Including Walgreens, including CVS. Stop in, make your appointment at those locations. Also, your city governments, city leaders should be putting together many vaccinated events. So make sure you attend those to get fully vaccinated. Come on, let's come together. Join me, because I'm already I'm vaccinated, and you should be. Also, while you're out in public places, make sure you guys are respecting those that are working. Make sure you guys are tipping, because don't forget, they were out a whole year and a half. Make sure you're being respectful to those that's in the drive-thru. Make sure you're being respectful for those that's sitting around in dining areas. Tip, please. They need the money. Make sure you guys are also encouraging each other. But don't forget, wear your mask. Thank you to Joe Biden and our Vice President, Kamala, for giving out free vaccinated because you
can't. It gets me every time. Who is the Vice President? Hold up.
Mask. Thank you to Joe Biden and our Vice President, Kamala, for giving out.
Thank you to Mela.
Out free vaccinated because you care for us and we see that. Thank you to the Joe Biden, the White House team who is working every single day, who is monitoring COVID vaccine cases. Thank you. Also, a special shout out to Mercy Hospital, who have helped me get fully vaccinated. The staff was so nice, professional. They helped me while I was scared. I answered my question, and they answered every question that I needed. And now I'm fully vaccinated. Thank you.
Andrew cannot teach us anything about this. He can't even pronounce the words. Why would I, you know what? Why would I get online and be like, you know what? I ain't get it. And then I see Andrew talk about it and I'm like, you know what? I'm convinced. I should get it because this brother, was the same with Boosie. Boosie was like, we giving away free prizes. Come down here and get your. I'm like, Boosie can't even tell us the first ingredient that's in that joint. Child. Listen to how he said Corona the first time, look.
What? Oh my gosh. What? Yes. What? COVID vaccines or
child, bye. He couldn't sell me nothing. He can't sell cars. Okay? He can't sell me the. I was tempted to buy a candle or a t-shirt from his website, but I looked at all the bad reviews and on the Better Business Bureau. I said, dang, I just wanted to review it and see if it was quality. I was either really going to give him props for getting a candle, or I was going to come on here and keep it real and say, look at, but baby, I don't know if I can get behind. Is it a scam? You know, he be lying about sending orders out. I be on his lives just laughing in the bushes because he like to block people too if you don't agree. And people when they're like, Drew, where's my candle? I ordered my candle 5 weeks ago. I sent the orders out. I'm like, oh no. And you cussing out your customers on live, baby. I can't do it. I try to support even if you goofy as hell because he entertains me. He's so entertaining. He's a nut. He's a fool. He lies all the time. Living beyond his means, okay? Acting like he got 3 Porsches and all this other stuff. He's very entertaining. But baby, it's not happening. Okay.
It's time to face it, boo. Your product needs more exposure. If you want to see your ad here on my channel, be sure to shoot an email over to yt.theplainestjane@gmail.com and let's chat. But if you're new in my neighborhood here on YouTube, hey, I'm the Plainest Jane and I provide coverage and commentary on trending stories, viral events, and Black culture. I definitely appreciate you stopping through and hitting that subscribe button if you'd like more of my particular brand of syrup.
It was a YouTuber, and shout out to her for this good detective work, honey. She's the one who went and was able to put 2 and 2 together. The Plainest Jane. That's the person's name, the Plainest Jane. I couldn't think of what their name was on the podcast, but I wanted to go ahead and shout them out. They're the ones who did the work. All right. So, like I said, shout out to Plainest Jane. She's the one who put that together. So Shekinah was not lying. So when Tiny came back on some, oh, she's making it up, sounded like Tiny's voice to me.
Okay, so yes, I know he's on the radio. He's funny as heck. He's really funny, and he's funny in ways that sometimes he don't even know. And people come into the live just to trigger him on purpose, and it's just the most funniest thing the way he tells 3 different lies in a row, and they all contradict one another. It gives me life. Do you hear me? It gives me so much life, so much life. So let me see. I want to say that is it. I thought about me coming on earlier, child. I would have some people to call in, but that's okay because, excuse me, I'm getting hot sitting right here. I'm hungry. I really want some Subway, but I can smell the air fryer is being used right now. So I'm gonna go see what's being whipped up in the kitchen. And yes, they let him do radio daily because people like me like to laugh at him. The lies he tell, like he been delivered. Then he'll turn around and he'll say, and if I was sleeping with men, it's none of your business. Like, not you telling on yourself. See, I mean, we know you still sleep with men, but it's you trying to act like you straight and not seeing all these mannerisms. And it's like, sir, it's funny. It really is hilarious as hell. Okay. So I more than likely will be live later today, either backstage or the backup channel. But you know what? I really owe my channel members something special. If you're looking to join the channel, we will be dissecting Jaguar's crazy mess. We're going to listen to the VA call specifically. What else? The P.O. box is in the description box. If you want to send anything, if you want to advertise your merchandise, if it is athletic wear or not athletic wear, but if it's clothes, cool, you can send a shirt, medium or large. If you sell candles, whatever the case is, and you want me to try it out before we talk about, because if you do sell a product, I do want to try it before I throw it on the channel. Okay. So if you're interested, or if you're considering doing advertisement for your products here on the channel, just send me something to the PO box, or you can DM me and see if maybe I want a specific color. But if you just want to see if I like the quality of your things, I'll wear it. And then we can talk about promo prices, right? And advertisement slots. That's one thing. And it is listed down below in the description box. Here's the PO box right here. The Cash App is always on the screen as well. Speaking of advertising, you'll see the very first link down below in the description box. This is one of the makeup girlies. And when I tell you she's talented, she's talented. So what she does is she buys and uses all of these high-end products, and she tries them out, and she gives you her honest review on them. That way, when you're ready to treat yourself, or you want to tell Bae, hey, I want this YSL mascara. It's $40, but I want it from Outta, and you want him to get you a little something, you already have a real person reviewing this stuff. So you know kind of what you want to splurge on. Most of what she does is high end, not much drugstore, but it's between makeup and skincare. So she's really good with bringing all of those things down. And she's always got the high end stuff. And she knows when the sales are going to be at both Sephora or Ulta. Okay, so that is the very first link you'll see down below in the description box, Deeper Than Skin Deep. And I really enjoy her channels. Okay, she's just getting into the live stream thing. Other than that, she has a lot of really efficient content, shorts and edited videos, so you're not spending a whole bunch of time there. So if you're a makeup girly, definitely make sure you go subscribe to Deeper Than Skin Deep's channel. And of course, just hop in any of her comment sections and drop some pancakes to let her know where you came from and who sent you. Okay. Let me think if there are any other housekeeping things that I have here. Why is it so hot today? I just don't get it. It's hot. You would think that I'm having a hot flash. I'm not even of age to be having no hot flashes. Okay. But if you are interested in advertising your products on the channel, you can definitely send an email. I prefer tangible products. I really do. If you're selling like courses for like finance or whatever, that's kind of like not for me. I want stuff that people can actually feel, have, and touch, is what I would like to stick to advertising here on the channel. And of course, I'm trying to do some Black-owned businesses. Okay. Shit, maybe one day Rihanna girl, let me go ahead and do some Fenty work. Got my little Fenty on my lips right now. Okay. And last but not least, let me just show you all something really quickly, just so that you can get an idea for what commercials look like when you order packages from me. If you own a Black-owned business, your friend, your family member, and you're looking for a market or a demographic to advertise to, and I have mainly Black, I think I have like 70% of a female audience, and the 30% is men. And obviously the bulk of my viewers, they're Black. Okay, this is what the commercials that I create myself, this is what they look like.
Get into this Black-owned business, Stickies. It's got things for inside your home, outside your home, and even on the go. JasmineMadeIt.com is your new destination for Black Girl Magic mugs, tumblers, and even wine glasses. You can even customize the tumblers and wine glasses. There's a lot going on for a low price over at JasmineMadeIt.com. And if you've been serious about wanting to support more Black-owned businesses, here's your chance. Let JasmineMadeIt.com handle all your problems for family and friends. You ever had a friend over and they just wasn't catching the hint or paying the rent?
Y'all asses all get to stepping.
Yeah, tell them to get to stepping with this nostalgic Martin-themed doormat, and shop over a dozen different doormat designs over on JasmineMadeIt.com. All right, Stickies, you know what time it is. It's time to put your money where your mouth is and shop Black today. Make life easier for you and your household by taking your family's hot or cold beverages on the go with one of these unique tumblers. It's insulated to keep your beverage at temperature, and it comes with a few different reusable straws and even the specific brush that you need to wash it, so you can keep it sanitized and germ-free. They've got all kinds of designs to match your mood or style. So grab something for your wife, the hubby, or even the kids over on JasmineMadeIt.com. That's JasmineMadeIt.com, and I'll see you over there.
All right. And don't forget, you can use my code Jane for 10% off of your purchase. No minimum requirement. Okay. I do really enjoy this cup. Hot and cold beverages. It's the thing. Angela Bassett did the thing. So that's that. I think I have a moderator in the bushes because I was about to get this comment out of here. And I think a moderator already got it. Oh, not you coming here to call Jada a B and thinking it's going to ride and saying it was only one time. It wasn't just one time, but if it was just one time, it was one time too many. She caught a stray. She did not slap Chris Rock. Will Smith did. And so if you want a place where you can openly call women B's, women that you don't even know, you got this parasocial relationship with her and me seemingly, you so over the top. You're so fucking down below. Happy Sunday. Okay? Happy Sunday. Okay? If I'm over the top, you're in hell. How about that? Take your ass over to a goddamn Kevin Samuels-esque channel if you want to freely call women B's and you feel like Black women don't have the right to call it out and say that it's wrong because it's wrong. And if I'm a B and if Jada Pinkett's a B, then tell me about the woman you came from. Don't worry. I'll wait. What about the woman you came from? She's in the category too, my dog. All right. Now let's get your ass up out of here. Angela Bassett did the thing.
This is a sick Negro.
All right. So I'm about to go see what's popping with the air fryer. I don't want to give you, I think I saw somebody in the chat saying, do you have an idea of what time you'll be back? No, and I'm not good with making time commitments. That's one thing that I'm trying to work on. I am not good with giving time commitments. I just have to make sure I stay focused when I'm away. That way I can make sure I can get back on time. If I pin down the time, I might not make it. But that is something that I am actively working on. And I'm taking little baby steps, just little teeny, tiny baby steps. I'll get there one day. So that is that. Okay, this is my bus, baby. Get out of here, okay? You just earned yourself a block. Now make another account and come back to comment if you please. Okay, because right now I imagine what you're doing is typing to your fucking self, trying to hit send, wondering why you get an error message. Okay, that's why. Because I kicked you off the bus. That's why. All right. Now, so anybody else want to get kicked off the bus? Anybody else want to raise their hand and say that Jada Pinkett's a B? Because you know niggas can be bitches too, right? It's not just women who can be a bitch. Men can be them too. So, just saying. Just saying. All right. I hope y'all have an amazing Sunday. I will stay glued to my phone to see if there is something else that pops off. I think I need to make market too. I need to grab a couple things from the market. I'll see if anything else happens. But typically the weekends be real slow. None of the real news comes out until later. If I can find ratings and what numbers the Netflix special did, I will give you all that information as well. Matter of fact, let me just look and see. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Did it deliver the goods? Looks like the numbers aren't quite in yet. What time does it start? Yeah, doesn't look like we have any ratings. Let's see. Child, the ointment on my chin is glistening. Let me see. Strikes back. Did it deliver? Selective. Yep, we don't have any information on the statistics yet. Like, how did it perform? So, yes, y'all can have his pancakes. Take them pancakes, child. And what else? You didn't watch it? I mean, if you already have Netflix, I say watch it just to formulate like a thought or opinion about it. There's no need not watching it if you already got like Netflix. Like, there's no need to not watch it. I say give yourself something to do. For me, I just don't think that it just wasn't that funny to me. I won't say I was like stale faced the whole time, but I literally chuckled like twice. And the chuckles I did was when, like a Black person is telling a story about their upbringing and you like, ha, I relate to that. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that growing up Black. That was it. Sugar Mafia asked to be a moderator. I just modded you. Make sure your wrench works, okay? I love y'all so much. Y'all stay beautiful, Black, and blessed. I would give you a sticky note, but I'm working on a video that is like the ultimate sticky note, and I think it's going to open the door for another series. Y'all know I'm always doing series over here on this channel. So the video that I have that is kind of like an extensive sticky note, I think it's going to be really good. I'm just deciding if I want to do it live or if I want to turn it into edited content, okay? One thing that I did want to let y'all know is we will not be having a bingo card rundown this month, okay? We won't be having a bingo card rundown. I just had too much going on this month, but we can still vote on who's going to get February on the bingo card. I really think that Lasagna and Jaguar get it. I mean, we could just give it to Rihanna for the sake of the baby bump. But y'all, I think Lasagna and Jaguar take the cake, y'all. They take the cake. Okay? That's that. Anyway, I love you all so much. Y'all stay beautiful, Black, and blessed. Until next time, I will see y'all later today. Make sure you subscribe to the backup channel if you have not already. Okay? It is the second link you'll see down below, or you'll see at TPJ Network. Scroll down. You'll see Deeper Than Skin Deep. You'll see the link to join the membership to get backstage. And then you'll see at TPJ Network will be blue. Subscribe to the backup channel because you don't want to miss some of the things that I'm about to be uploading on there, going live more abruptly there. So I don't always have to structure a cookie cutter show. All right. So I think I'll be getting out a lot more news over there and treating it similar to like my radio career, getting in, getting out, and really focused on the content and not how I look, aesthetics, and really giving y'all that newscaster urban radio-esque that I enjoy delivering. Okay, so that's that. Hey, Just a T, please. Tay. Okay, shout out to you. You must have been the one that got him out here the first time, because one of the moderators got his ass up out of here before I even could, or at least they deleted the comment. But anyway, y'all know I drag out goodbyes because I do love sitting here with y'all, but I do need to go eat, and I need to go turn the air on or turn the heat off, something. I love you all so much. Happy Sunday. Make sure you do something to rest and reset yourself to get ready for this crazy week. And make sure you keep in mind all throughout this week that we're going to be losing an hour at the end of the week. So don't be staying up late all days this week. Try to start shutting down a little earlier. That way it's not so abrupt for you when we lose that hour next week. And yes, I'm talking to me too. I'm talking to me too, because y'all know my sleep schedule is basura. Okay? I love y'all so much, and I'll see y'all a little later. Deuces.
But that's it. If you want to catch more of my commentary on Black culture or vital and trending information, be sure to subscribe by hitting that little circle in the middle of the screen, or I'll catch you in one of these rectangles to the right in another video. I'll see you there.